Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Whispering Willows. Do you guys remember the video I did on a game called Home? It wasn't that long ago. It was a fairly short game and it was a fairly short video to go along with a fairly short game, but basically, if you remember Home and had your reasons for liking or disliking it, you can apply those pretty much full scale onto this game and it wouldn't make a bloody difference, but let's just have a quick look through the settings before we go loading my game up. So, those are all the controls you got. They don't seem to introduce anything else in at least the first half of the game, because I believe I'm at least halfway through at this point. And you got audio and brightness settings and languages. So, we'll just load into my game straight away. Those other menu options actually are in the game, so we don't have that big of a deal, just going straight into the game. Also, the game's got some weird loading times. I mean, the first initial load I can understand being a tiny bit long, but every time you enter a door, it has to save the game, and saving the game takes something like 5 to 10 seconds. Imagine trying to navigate through multiple rooms at one time. This gets really annoying really quick. But yeah, the idea here is that we are a little girl who lost her father, who is this mansion's caretaker. So the idea is that we have to go look around and see if we can find where our father is. The big twist, or at least the big mechanic in this game, is that if we press square when our amulet hanging around our neck is lit up, we get to go to a ghost form, and the ghost form can do things like squeeze into tiny spaces like this, and it can also find objects and possess them and move them. Unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure where I'd go to find one of those at the moment. Controls are a little bit stiff in the flying ghost mode. The ghost can also talk to other ghosts. And this is where I'm at the story right now. So, apparently there's some guy named Wortham who murdered his wife or something. I'm not entirely sure. I last played this yesterday. He's gone and murdered someone. And the idea is we're going to go meet with the old housekeeper in order to learn the truth. And apparently we have to go to the housekeeper's place at 4 o'clock in the morning. Which is strange because this game doesn't actually have any sort of time relation to it. No clocks or anything. So we just have to go there and hope that it's the right time, basically. But this is basically the entire game, honestly. I mean, you can run around outside by holding down the shoulder button, and other than swapping out to the ghost form every now and again, and moving a couple of objects and finding notes lying around the place, there's not really that much else to it. It's a really... So there is actually a clock here. So there are basically some simple as hell puzzles to do. But, you know, see? We put the clock at the right time and now we get to talk to the old housekeeper. He dug a grave for Mr. Barbie and he kept it a secret, so he buried him deep in the catacombs. And so he gives us a key. A bloody key. Great, I actually know where this goes, so I'll be able to just mosey my way on over there. So, that is basically all you do. You solve really simple puzzles. Like, there are a couple of things that, like, early on in the game, you have to find a bucket and attach it to a well, and I did this, like, before I even knew what it was for. I just did it because it was the natural thing to do at the time, and I ended up doing it anyway. It was just strange. I ended up using it to ride down into the well anyway. I also found a shovel really early on before I even knew I needed it, and thankfully when I did need it, I was more than capable of using it at the right time, which was a little bit disappointing. Most of the puzzles in this game have been surprisingly easy. The only notable thing that I've found is the one little puzzle section when I was trying to get out of the trophy room earlier on in the game, where there was a scorpion lying across the ground that would kill me if I touched it, which was the only deadly enemy I'd really found at the time. And all I had to do was walk behind it at a slow enough pace in order to let it disappear, and then I could just run right past it. It was strange. It was really strange. I don't know what the deal was with that. Also notably, the game's got a couple of trophy bugs. Like, for example, I should probably go and load up the trophy app. I really should have done this earlier now I think about it. Okay, thankfully it's already on Whispering Willows, but I actually went and looked up the trophy list because I had a feeling that I was missing a few trophies. I was right. 4 of these hidden trophies here I should have, but I don't. The game completely skipped the first 4 trophies. I swear this is true. But anyway, here we are in the catacombs. You might have noticed I got a diary entry earlier. We might as well talk about that. So the diary entries are the story entries. Basically, they try and they inform you on what the main plot of the game is right now. So you got a bunch of different diary entries for that. You've also got notes, which you find lying around the place. And there are a ton of fucking notes. Like, holy shit, there are a ton of notes. You got 13 for the Worth and Willows guy, 9 for your father, 5 for Flying Hawk. And the idea is that these are meant to explain the backstory. And the problem with this is the notes are actually really, really easy to miss. Like, I don't know if I've even missed some or not. Like, Darby O'Halloran here, I managed to pick up notes 1 and 3. I don't know where 2 is, I don't know where 4 is, and I don't know where 5 and 6 is. So I have no idea if I've just gone and missed out on some of the lore here. So I figure there's no bloody point in even trying to find the damn things. It just weirds me out, honestly. And it's just, they dump a ton of the backstory in here when it could have easily been done better through, say, I don't know, actually having the characters talk about their histories, but then again, that might devolve into Metal Gear Solid syndrome, where they end up, what's the word I'm looking for? Where they end up just talking about themselves for too long, but I don't know. I don't feel any attachment to these characters, mainly because I have to go and read 5 pages of lore in order to figure out just what the bloody hell they have to do with the story in any way. And there's this whole backstory about the girl's father being a descendant from an ancient shaman tribe, and just some weird crap like that. It's strange. That's all I've got to say about it, honestly. It's a really strange system, and I'm honestly not that big of a fan of it, mainly because I have 0 care in the story right now, and I'm probably not going to have any more care about the story. Also of note is that the game is probably really short. Because when I went and looked up the trophy list, I have been through half of the trophies, or at least half the hidden ones. So, the game is decidedly short. Because I've only been playing for about an hour at this point, which is, I don't know, I guess that's one of those things that these games tend to be. They tend to be awfully story heavy in the background, while the foreground gameplay is often really simple, and I gotta remember where the bloody hell the bloody door is. It's around here somewhere, I think. I might have gone in the wrong direction, though. These catacombs are kind of confusing. But this is basically the gameplay anyway. You're just wandering around, solving extremely simple puzzles with obvious answers. And it's just somewhat disappointing, honestly. And in all honesty, I'm kind of disappointed with it. Yeah, I think I've gone in the wrong direction. I think I have to go into another part of the thing. Yeah. There's no map or anything either, so it doesn't help, especially when you've got a ton of different doorways you can go down, and you have to mentally keep it all in mind so you can access it. I saw the bloody door earlier, and I tried to remember where it was. Oh, there it bloody is. Never mind. So yeah, game's gonna be... Oh, I thought that said bloody shit for a moment, and I was like, oh dear. So, for some reason, I picked up the bloody shirt. I don't know why I did that. So let's see if there's anything related to the ghost in here. Not really. I guess I have to take the bloody shirt back to the murderer at this point. I'm not entirely positive on what I have to do here, but there is probably some sort of clue that would make it obvious. You can check your inventory here, but you don't really need it. It's pretty much unnecessary. But yeah, game would probably be rather short if you not so much knew what you were doing as not be completely and utterly brain dead. It just seems like it would be over with real quick because all the puzzles are simple and it's just basically nothing but walking. If you're capable of running inside, it would probably reduce the playtime by about half. It's not exactly an artsy-fartsy platformer, is it? But it's just a bit strange that people seem to like making these sorts of extremely simple puzzle games that only last for a couple of hours, dump all their backstory into a load of text that you have to read and try and make sense of, and just have the game be blindingly easy in the meantime. Also of note, the game doesn't seem to take itself seriously in the first, like, 30 seconds, where you get, like, 3 shots of the main character's ass. Like, I know it seems like a weird thing to say, but I noticed it so weirdly, because the main menu seems to have this tone of seriousness going about it, and then you hit the new game button, and you immediately get, like, 3 shots of the character's ass in hot pants, and it's like, why? Why did you do this? I don't know, if you were trying to take yourself seriously, it just seems like a really weird thing to do at the very beginning of your story. Especially since we don't really know the character's age. God knows how old she is. But yeah, that was just weird. I don't really know what else to say about this game. It really is just wandering back and forth, simple puzzles, and not much to it. I don't really understand. I'll have to take the bloody shirt back. I love how they call it the bloody shirt. I can literally just say bloody shirt and not have to worry about a goddamn thing, because it's quite literally a bloody shirt. Also, that's a conservatory, apparently. So let's go back to the mansion, I guess. So yeah, if you were hoping for something even remotely approaching horror, it's not even that scary. Like, the 2 times that it does try to scare you a little bit, it's not scary at all. It really isn't. Like, they try to scare you with an itsy-bitsy skeleton spider scorpion thing, and it doesn't bloody work. And then there's this time where the whole screen goes red and there's some arms coming up out of the floor, and it doesn't work either. You literally just walk on out. You're in no danger of failing the section if you aren't completely dumb. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've got to say about this game. First impressions aren't that fantastic. I'm already halfway through it, so it's a short game. It's a very, very mechanically light game. The story is all dumped in exposition, where it's almost entirely too much to read. And what is here is just... You like that little girl in the garden, right? So now we have to go back to the freaking garden. And we got a bloody diary entry, too. It's just... Yeah, so very mechanically light, somewhat short. All your lore is dumped in the backstory, but you might even miss a bunch of the backstory if you're not careful. It just seems really... I don't know. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I'm kind of disappointed with it, but there's a word for what I want to describe this game as, but for the life of me, I don't remember the exact word. I don't want to call it poorly designed, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. Just seems a bit weird. Having all your story be easily missed is just odd. Quite odd. There are a bunch of Easter eggs hidden in the game too or something apparently, according to the trophy list, but I'll be damned if I know where those are. So we'll just go talk to this girl who's hiding in the garden, and then we'll call this video to an end, because you've literally seen examples of me playing this game. Slight amounts of backtracking, easy puzzle solving, and just wandering around. You've met the white man. What? Help me pick flowers for him. I need 3 more flowers to finish my bouquet, and that opens the garden maze. Right. I'll go do the garden maze section, and then I'll call this video to an end. There's nothing to it. It's a lot like Home. I mean, at least Home only lasted for like an hour. So, right, you couldn't exactly... Well, you could get bored playing it, but at least it didn't last too long. This game, however, is just much... I mean, this game had a lot of potential. Yeah, oh look, there's note number 2. After I found note 1 and 3. I really don't understand it. Yeah, here's the possession mechanic, by the way. Yeah. At least Home didn't, like, take too much of your time. At least Home didn't try to scare you and fail miserably. It let all the background details of everything do the work for you. And it only lasted an hour. And it probably wouldn't... It's not going to cost, like, $12.99 when it comes out. It's going to be $9.99 for PlayStation Plus users. And by it, I mean Whispering Willows. But I would not for that price. Not personally. I mean, Home could get away with it. Because it was nice and cheap. And once you were done with it, you could easily forget it. This game, however, takes a fair amount more time, gets very, very dull, and has a bunch of problems with it that really could have been made deeper and more interesting. Really, it could have. They could have done something with the possession mechanic. They could have added some sort of, like, something chasing you around, trying to prevent you from solving the mystery. Something to make it more interesting than just wandering around and talking to ghosts. Also, I don't know how Male Bust is kind of funny. This game's writing isn't exactly Golden Globe material, or whatever the bloody hell... What was it? Hugo Awards? I don't know. I'm not even gonna try. It's not even that impressive graphically, or... And yeah, those loading times, it's just... Technical performance isn't exactly great either. And look at this. This is a bloody maze. I have 3 doors to go through. You know what? I've had enough. This video's already long enough, and I've probably shown off too much of the game already. This has been Blue Maxima checking out Whispering Willows. It's very light on the ground. Its lore is hidden behind a really annoying mechanic, and it just doesn't do enough to remain interesting, and it's going to cost way too much. $12.99 for people who don't own PlayStation Plus, and $10 for people who do. It's too much, personally. Just too much for what it is. I wouldn't recommend it at that price. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.